Hey, Boy Manning here, live outside the Auerbach Center for our practice before the Celtics take on the Nets again. Game 2, 7 o'clock between the Nets and Celtics. Getting going again at TD Garden. We'll have coverage of it here for CLNS Media, Celtics All Access, and the Garden Report. And first, the Celtics patching up some things. Game 1, of course, we had the discussions afterward. Could have very easily been a loss. 1 second decided whether this was going to be an epic fourth quarter collapse for the Celtics or a triumphant win for Boston, with Brooklyn being the team that was just marred with holes outside of Kyrie Irving's performance. It was a very thin line between success and failure, so obviously there was much to clean up. A lot of discussions about the things that went well. Ime Udoka said they're trying to accentuate the things that they did on Kevin Durant in terms of getting in his airspace, narrowing the amount of room that he had to operate there, and just being right up in him. We saw all those things across switches and in some trap situations. The Celtics, of course, trying to funnel him into some drop defense as well out there and just limit the room that he had to do what he wanted to do. Grant Williams said that they're not expecting him to go 9 for 24 again, said he had a good game, but that's just something you can't count on going forward. So there's much that they had to clean up when it came to guarding Kyrie Irving, the 39 points out there. But my focus, as I wrote about after game 1, was the fourth quarter. Those clutch opportunities have been an issue for the Celtics this year, even in the second half of the season, where I guess they're now 8-8, better than it was in the first half, but still offense getting stagnant, movement slowing down, and just the overall pace, I think, dissipating too. And in those moments, you saw a lot of the old Celtics in the early portion of that fourth quarter. Here's what Ime Udoka said about what he saw looking back on that fourth when he took a look.
Ime, I know you said it was a matter of missed shots and some other things early in the fourth quarter when the offense got stagnant there. When you look back on it, I know that's kind of been a thing that's been an issue for you guys at times this year, the fourth quarter offense and really just some of the clutch time stuff this year. Is that a concern for you? And what do you think kind of played into it when you look back on it?
Yeah, a little less ball movement than we had in the third quarter. I think we really got out well in transition, and our defense fueled that. So stops help us, obviously. To have a 35 to 24, point quarter. Obviously, we were getting outscoring, and then we were guarding well. Obviously, coming out 15 to 2, they were scoring baskets. We were taking out, and they made some adjustments as far as matchup wise, and we can attack a different way. And so, really heavily loading up on Jayson at times, and so we want to get our spacing a little bit better from there, do some more off-ball movement and actions that we had success with throughout the year. And we can mix in the ISOs and the cross matches and all that. But we looked at 3 or 4 different ways to attack them, and felt like we only did 2 or 3 of them that well in the first game, especially in that fourth quarter.
So that's definitely the biggest area that the Celtics need to improve. Some defensive things, of course, too, going into game 2. They let Goran Dragic get loose. I thought Nick Claxton hurt them at times, as well as the Nets' ball movement. Strong first half. They were able to instill their physicality in the second half. Grant talked about being able to adjust to the way refs are calling a game. Looked like the Celtics did a good job with that. Now, offensively, I think getting out of the traps, that's going to be a big deal for Tatum. And when you look at this game as well, how are they going to handle the punch that the Nets throw at them there? Because it did seem to have an emotional impact. Jaylen Brown said something to the team as that 15-point lead disappeared.
Losing the 15-point lead there, you guys were in that spot a lot this year, and you lost a lot of games like that. What kind of things are you saying to each other? What's really the moment there that you put that to a stop, the collapse there in the fourth?
Yeah, they started out hot. I think it was like a 15-2 run. I remember coming back to the timeout, and everybody was starting to get a little quiet. And I said to everybody, like, this is the moment where our faith needs to be the strongest. Like, we're going to find a way to win this game. We're going to find a way to get our offense going. Just stick with it. This ain't the time to fold to adversity. It's time to turn it up a notch. And we found a way to pull it out.
So he stepped up in a big way, found his lane, said he got more comfortable in that second half as he got his feet under him. Obviously, he talked about 500 days or so since his last playoff game, observing Ramadan as well. I think he signaled last week at practice, wasn't able to have any food or water if that was the case. So a lot of things, circling around Jaylen, as well as the antsiness and the lack of sleep that he described, just in the anticipation of this. And you saw the franticness that the Celtics played with in that game. I think that's something you're going to be able to count on disappearing from the next one. These teams are more locked in, only a couple of games since they last played, and this wind is killing me right now if you can't tell, but we're rolling forward. The Celtics are as well. Jaylen just overall talking about how this game swung once they were able to break out of that stagnancy early there in the fourth quarter. So is that going to be a theme for the Celtics? That's going to make it difficult for them to get to their goal, their aspirations, winning a championship. Lots of celebration, lots of jubilation in this one, coming out of a game winner that just had this crowd basking in the glory of an iconic moment that no one's ever going to forget. But I think more people will forget it if the Celtics don't end up closing this series, and there's definitely a ton to improve upon. Go check out all the pressers from practice today. Grant Williams, Jaylen Brown, Ime Udoka, all talking. And of course, stick with us tomorrow for game 2 between the Celtics and the Nets, 7 o'clock, and go get calm. If you're giddy, if you're staying up late tonight and can't get to sleep in anticipation of this game, Calm has a variety of ways to help you. Yoga, meditation, sleep sounds. They're all there, and you can get it for 40% off when you go to calm.com/garden. That's calm.com/garden. I'm Bobby Manning. We will see you tomorrow night outside TD Garden.